Call the meeting to order, the Griggs County Commission. October 18th today? 17th. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Okay, John.
Here.
Dale's gone today. Mark.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Troy's here. Any additions or corrections to the agenda? Is Stacy coming to the meeting?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
DES was going to be on the agenda. Bob wasn't able to be here at the meeting, but he was going to send me a update, and I never received an update. So I'll just hopefully receive it by next meeting and give it to you then.
That usually means nothing's been done.
Okay. Anything else?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Been moved by Sean to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mark. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. November 3rd meeting minutes.
Bottom of page 3.
That he didn't hire an office deputy. He hired a deputy.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
that's the one. And then the other one, the very bottom of page 3. Motion by Wakefield to approve the Zahn property cleanup and shred the quitclaim deed.
That's your reward.
Say what?
Motion by Wakefield to approve the Zahn property cleanup and shred the quitclaim deed.
We had two.
Oh.
We had two deeds. The quitclaim deed was what they signed to the county.
Okay, then you should specify that.
Okay.
So it looks like a punishment for a
Yeah.
good deed.
Destroying evidence. Get rid of the 13-second gap on the tape.
Right. So we gave them a deed, and then we had them sign a deed back to us if they didn't get the property cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that.
So I
So to
should.
shred the quitclaim deed that was used as collateral against property cleanup.
Okay.
Right.
And it's not an office. Okay.
I'll move we accept the meeting minutes as presented,
It's amended.
as amended.
Second.
Been moved by John, seconded by Sean to accept the November 3rd meeting minutes as corrected. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, let's proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, bills.
Bills, there was only one that needs to get added, and that's for our phone bill. It was for card member services. is for our phone bill, and it's $19.17. Came in the mail today, but it's got to be paid by the 7th, so it's that one. The TJ's bill that was presented at the last meeting that did not get approved, that's back in your packets. It was actually on my fault. I was taking it out of the wrong line item, so we got those cleared up. You can see that there's corrections.
Is that what all the corrections
Yep,
are?
those are those corrections that things had gotten taken out of the wrong line items before, and so those are getting corrected now.
This isn't a phone bill, I don't think.
The Sotel is our new phone system. I think I was telling you about this at one other meeting, and it's like where we can transfer from one office to the other, trying to get away from MLGC. Do you recall?
Well, you don't have as many phone lines coming into the building now, I don't imagine.
Yeah.
But why is there a monthly bill to those people? Do we lease that thing? But it's
This is
$19.
Well, it wasn't much equipment.
This is like the new, like, Travis got us into the Sotel and we're slowly getting away from MLGC to save some money for long distance phone calls or something.
You know, just put the long distance over the internet.
Yep. So that's what that is.
This phone system is voice over IP?
Must have the capability to be.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Okay.
It's all digital system, so yeah, it would have to have the ability to do that.
Okay. Who's PPI Consulting?
What page?
Last page of the bill, about halfway up.
What's your?
Training.
Oh yeah.
General Sheriff Training.
Anybody know?
He's-
It's on the sheriff's account. Troy's got the English.
Psychological assessment.
Oh, that's for his new deputy.
Yep.
Yep.
Amberly Michaelis. Apparently that's a state requirement. Is she here?
She's starting on the 27th. I think is when hers.
Have you met her?
Mm-mm.
I haven't. I suppose she's not here yet.
She's come a few times, but I haven't met her yet.
Well, Travis's bill, what's a DP? Rest of all general, DP what?
Document preservation.
Oh. I've moved to approve the bills as presented.
I'll second.
Been moved by Sean, seconded by Mark to approve the bills as presented. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carried.
That was with the addition of this one, correct?
Yep, sure.
Yes, that'd be correct.
Okay. Nobody coming from road?
Nope. We just have some information in there is all. Reimbursement request, and then I had 2 letters. The one,
Traffic count.
Traffic count and then that bridge.
yeah,
Because we changed the priority order of those bridges, didn't we? Hi, Wes.
When you guys have time,
Pardon?
when you guys have time, I need to talk to you about something.
The reimbursement request is for $18,925. Is that correct?
That's for County Road 23 structure replacement.
Motion to submit.
So moved.
Moved by Mark to submit the reimbursement request to the North Dakota DOT for project CNOC 0020 030 or 032. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I would make a motion to revise the agenda to include Sheriff Wesley Strait. And I don't know what's up at the now.
It's along with the bills, basically. It's on, limited license for Amberly Michaela's payment.
What?
There's more.
Limited license.
Just a second. It's been moved by John to add the sheriff to the agenda.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sean. There we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I got Amberly's background today, and I was going through some stuff, and we need to send a check in with her information to get her a limited license so she can be a peace officer in North Dakota. It's $45. It's something we do all the time. We have money in the budget, but
You need it in this pile.
Yeah, I just need a
Okay.
check. I did a voucher for it.
Yep.
I just need a check written to North Dakota Post Board that I can put in with her stuff.
Okay. Motion to add that voucher to today's bills.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mark to add the $45 voucher for a limited license for Amberly Michaelis. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Sean? Aye. Troy votes aye. Motion carries. So, you need to make up one of those then? Or,
Nope, this is all we needed.
oh, okay.
And that payment, I just needed a check. It doesn't get sent off to Post Board. Just give me a check and I'll send it on with all her information.
Okay. If you want to
Are
let
you-
Lori know about that,
I
I'll.
already talked to her.
Perfect.
Well,
Excellent.
maybe he can just take all this stuff to her,
I can do that.
right? Because you want that today, apparently.
I just didn't want it before your guys' next meeting.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna- her start date's gonna be the 27th.
That's what,
Of this month?
Yep. Yep, she
that's what Sam
is
said.
moving up here this weekend.
Okay.
Still don't understand it, but
I didn't get your stocking cap. I want one that says commissioner.
I think I got this one at White Banner. But you probably talked to Deb Wallace. Call her up
Put
and
a
say,
bullseye.
Yeah, bullseye in the back. Yeah.
She does that?
Deb does embroidery stuff.
Screen
Oh, really?
printing or,
Yeah.
Embroidery?
She did all the coats for the employees, Griggs County coats.
Oh,
Is that, oh, that was embroidery? She had a machine, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
got a machine.
I didn't know that.
pretty
did
cool.
she buy it from when they had the business?
Yeah, when it-
Who had that?
Zons.
Was it Todd
Zons.
Edlund's way? Or
Oh.
was it?
There was the
yeah,
other
she was
one,
doing
yeah.
something there
I think
too.
she had it for, and then Zons I think had it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the machine's making the rounds. I suppose.
Mhm.
Huh.
And then I did talk to John about overtime. We decided, but since I had money in the chief deputy budget, which I've been using for when we cover weekends, I'm kind of short on. I wasn't left much in the overtime budget, and not that I see that we have overtime coming, just holidays.
Oh, sure.
There's money left in the second deputy slot that can be just transferred over to cover the
I
overtime,
see.
without affecting his overall budget.
Sure.
Because he kinda got left short when. Yep.
Sounds good.
All right.
So really, that shouldn't matter, just next time you turn in the bill, just make the adjustments to your budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go start these. It'll cost you $20 though.
Thanks, Wes.
And mileage.
Serve them. Old social service building.
I just need you to approve that other FAR thing. I need you to sign that sheet.
Oh,
The
we need to
bridge.
approve that bridge,
Yeah.
the changing of the priority.
Mhm.
Okay.
What's going on with that? What's this?
So, oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah. Page 16.
Yeah, on page 16, there's two bridges that have kind of been on the radar forever in Griggs County. And the one up by Ben and Carolyn.
Yeah.
So that one was our number one priority for a long time, even though we never did anything with it. And there's a little wooden bridge right before you get to Louise Dahl's driveway on the county road there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been undermined several times. It's a little wooden bridge. And Wayne wanted to reprioritize that one and fix it next year. Put a box culvert in there instead of having that little rickety bridge in there. So then KLJ and Wayne, then they reprioritized those federal aid
Okay.
projects with the state. So
Okay.
this is just reconfirming that, and we're actually, I think, going to do that deal in 2018.
That's correct.
Right.
They were going to
Still
start.
have-
They were going to start the environmental already. weren't they?
Right.
The federal projects are 80% cost share, but they're gonna let us use the House bill and Senate bill money for our part of the cost share.
Oh,
So it won't, the net cost to the taxpayer, to the Griggs County taxpayer,
Yeah, yeah.
will be zero. Otherwise, as you notice on here, on 1.2
page you
million
on?
dollar bridge, or
16.
it's paid $971, and so unless something changes, that bridge will probably never be built.
That
So
one
one-
up by Ben and
right.
Carolyn's. I mean, it's just not a very used road to spend $1.5 million or whatever it costs to fix it or replace it. It's kind of like that bridge by my place. It doesn't serve very many people.
yeah. Just a matter of miles in between. And I think the bridge to the north, by Wiseman's, is probably
Yep.
more so.
So more than likely, that bridge 1 mile east and 8 north of Cooperstown will probably be replaced by another bridge that has higher priority if we ever find one in the
All
county.
right. And I don't know who put the directions in there, but it's 10 miles north of town. I don't know why it says 8. But anyway, Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Sean, seconded by Mark, to send in our federal aid priorities list to the state. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Old social service building, we'll try that one again. Did Stacy get you any information?
Nope.
How come it's on the agenda?
Just to talk about the heat and stuff like that.
Has there been any bites on that thing?
Yeah, I was thinking that's why it was on there, because I thought Stacy was gonna get some stuff. There's been one person that's showed some interest in it. Stacy called me. And he kind of wanted to do a contract, and I said, you know, I don't think the rest of them guys are gonna go for it, and I sure don't wanna do that. I said, if he can go to the bank, I think we'd be way more willing to deal on the price than on the terms. So that's kind of where I left it, and I haven't heard anything back. You know, of course I can't make that decision, so I was hoping that she had a proposal, but apparently they haven't gotten to that point yet. Other than that, I guess when we were visiting before the meeting, you guys knew that we got the heat turned on before it froze.
Yeah. Good
That
deal.
was a good thing. Snow removal, do we want to have whoever cleans the sidewalk up and down Main Street, just keep that sidewalk clean? We don't need to clean the back.
Right.
Mhm.
Talk to...
Jerry Ralph has been doing it
Has he?
lately.
Yeah, I know, but why have him? I mean,
Is he do that? I wonder if he doesn't do the others.
The whole street?
I think so.
I mean, yeah, whoever's doing it, does it all straight
Yeah,
through.
I think that's all part of that deal.
I thought Timmy Erickson did most of them, those storefronts.
I don't know.
He does the Coachman, so I'm pretty sure he does the Oasis. But maybe Jerry does the bank too, I don't know.
I don't know.
We got 3 lots there, so we got 75 feet of sidewalk that we gotta keep clean. So it don't matter.
No.
Just Jerry doesn't have any way to get rid of the snow. Those guys haul that stuff to the end of the street. I think it's the city takes care of it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
throw it in the street and they take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, have him keep doing it. It don't matter.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Hopefully we don't have to do it forever.
Hopefully it's done before we get snow.
Imagine somebody had to clean it off first time.
Just put a no trespass sign in there so that we don't have to do that.
Do we need a motion to that? Amanda?
I don't know if
If
you
it's
need a
already
motion
in
to
place,
leave it
we're
alone.
just continuing it.
Okay.
aren't we?
Yeah.
There was another thing that was brought to my attention about that social services building. Right now, social services is taking care of the water, sewer, garbage bills or whatever for up there. In next year's budget, they did not budget for that. And, you know, they say that it is the county's building, so we should be paying for that.
If we shut the water off,
You can't do that on improved property, they won't. I mean, you can turn it, you can have them turn it off, but you get to pay for it.
You still have to pay the water, sewer, garbage.
but you only pay $30 instead of the $70, $80.
Oh,
You
really?
can stop the garbage, can't you?
Yeah, and you can stop garbage.
Oh,
too.
can you?
Yeah, we did it at the country club last winter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that, like, we pay city garbage, so I guess you can pay that. That's all we buy.
That's what we should probably do then. 'Cause it is 30.
I think it's like $33 a minimum. They're very,
Yeah, I knew you couldn't.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then
That
I
way we
just,
wouldn't have to worry about a water leak or anything like that. Nobody's around.
Right,
It'd be just a better deal, I think.
yeah, I agree.
Yep.
You know if it was leaking water, it'd run over in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
There's no basement in it.
Yeah.
So then all those bills would then just come out of the general courthouse for next year. That's
I mean, if it's $400 a year, who cares?
yeah.
I mean, hopefully we don't own the thing that long.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't think it'd affect the value or anything like that. I mean, you can have
No.
you can have a leaky faucet show up, and
Right.
it could be a bad deal.
Supply line didn't even-
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Okay. NDSU, did you guys read that stuff?
Looks to me like they're gonna want us to cost share more.
Oh, you didn't get the whole thing.
No.
Oh, I should have sent.
I pretty much, so, right now,
The
NDSU pays
interpretation.
50% of the salary and
100%
100%
of the fringe.
of the fringe benefits. They want to go to, in counties over 2,000, which we are, the county would pay 40% of the total compensation and 100% of the operating costs. So when I did it on, applied that to our budget, using this year's budget, it would raise the costs for 2019 about 8% is what the increased cost would be. But that's not taking into account, I see they're asking for a salary increase for the county agents also. And NDSU has always done the salary increases without our input. They just put it in there, and then the county agent gives us the number, us being the county, the number that we're for half the salary. So with the salary increase, it looks like it would probably be about an 11% increase. But they give a lot of
How did all the state employees get no raises for 2 years and then extension gets?
This is 19.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Oh, so that includes 19? You guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
so they get unlike their past stance on this, extension is willing now to look at combining
lowering
Counties,
number.
districts. Yeah, let's see, I'll just read it to you. Counties with direction from commissioners, local input from the citizens, and local advisory councils determine the type and level of extension agent or coordinator support. Support for the positions are contingent on availability of county and state budget. If extension does not have funding to cost share on a position desired by the county can fund the position. I don't think we'll do that. If the county does not have the funding to co-share on a position, the county can consider a merger with a neighboring county, a part-time appointment, or options outlined on the following page. And the following page, the options are a merger, funded out of the general fund, charge for services, solicit sponsors, or put it to the vote of the people to increase the mill levy. So it basically tells us now that, and that wasn't their stance before.
They weren't in
remember,
favor of merger
that
before.
we're free now to determine what level of service we want out of the county agent, and it's all dependent on money. So it says it right here. In the event the county is unable to meet the minimum financial requirements as outlined in the NDSU extension base policy, it was recommended that the extension work with counties individually to either subsidize funding from other local sources or make adjustments in the program. The following options may be considered: merge county extension programs.
Reduce hours. I mean, there's
Yeah, you can make it part-time, you can do so. There's a bunch of options here. The only option that I'm not gonna go for is have county pay more money for the services.
Steel counties, have they found one?
They don't have an agent?
No?
No.
You're kidding me. I didn't know that.
Oh, I think they do.
Did they find one now
I
though?
They
think
didn't all
so.
summer.
No?
They were vacant this summer.
Yeah, they were looking.
Oh.
The last one didn't.
How
say
come
that
they
very
didn't come and
long.
talk to us?
It's
You kind of like come in with your
I
tails.
can't remember what her name is.
Oh, it'd be, I'd rack it up for doing the right thing column.
So anyway, as that document's a little bit more complex, but then it said so if we had one agent between two counties, then all we'd be responsible for is 60%, so we'd basically cut our costs in half.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they've really been having trouble filling
Sure.
county agents around the state. So
Yeah.
maybe they finally come to the conclusion that
No, what got them is their budget got
Well,
cut by
right.
$4.1 million and the
Right.
bureaucracy not gonna go away, so it's gonna find a way to stay there. Even if it has to bleed money out of someone else or.
right.
But I mean, it's good, the only good thing about the state being hard up for money, it's putting us in a position where we can make some cuts also. And that's a good deal.
As long as they allow us the flexibility.
They wouldn't before, we tried it 3 years ago, we even had the guy here and he was very,
They didn't want nothing to do with
I
that
know.
kind of foolish idea.
Angie Johnson is his
Yeah, there you go.
agent over there.
You
must have
think
just
about
been hired.
Barnes County,
Pardon?
besides
She
Barnes
must have just
County,
gotten
why
hired.
can't Griggs
I don't know,
and
last
Steele
few
and
months.
Trail have one together?
Right.
I mean,
you know, I mean,
Studsman County's another one. It's a huge
everybody's got
county.
cell phones nowadays. Every one of these farmers just goes on the NDSU site anyway and contacts the same person the county agent was gonna contact to get him the information.
Absolutely.
Or you go to your agronomist.
I mean, there's,
How many of them are around though that never used to be?
right, so, I don't know.
Every elevator.
You know, the
every
concern-
seat company's got one.
Where they really make kind of a difference is if there's a chemical drift complaint. And they're kind of the go-between between the chemical companies and the farmers.
Yeah, that,
Kennedy.
they're not supposed to have any,
Bias whatsoever.
no,
No,
they're not
and
supposed,
that's-
they're not supposed to make an opinion on that, so they're useless in that format.
Supposed to be
Well, that's-
education.
They've gotten in trouble for that. A
Yeah.
county agent go out there and say,
Sure.
yes, it came from here, yes, it came from here. No, no, I doubt if one would even go in a chemical complaint anymore.
Especially with all the dicamba stuff.
Yeah.
all year round.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know, it would be a good time to try to merge some people together here.
That's what I'd like to see happen, but you know, we went to the Steele County when we were both without an agent and tried to do
I
that.
know,
Sure.
They didn't want to talk to us. I think one of their county commissioners, if I can paraphrase, said, "Why would we want to do that? Nobody's complaining." So that's how that went.
But, you know, 3-4 years ago when we were having all this restructuring here, the county agent, the thing that caused the problem with the county agent was who's gonna run the 4-H program.
That's what it
That's
comes
the
down
one,
to.
right. Which that can be done,
Sure.
but some of them have a 4-H director. I mean, bigger counties have a 4-H director. That isn't a big deal. You could merge 3-4 counties and have a bigger 4-H club. So it would just be a matter of informing everybody on how it's gonna take place. And if NDSU would be on board, which I would imagine they would be now, if they can save money in their $4.1 million in arrears, any money saved would probably be.
It's a shame that we kind of missed the boat.
Sure.
Well, as much as they turn over, it shouldn't probably be long. We have a big turnover in county agents nowadays.
Well, I mean, can you blame them? They don't make very much money.
No.
They can go be a
Agronomist.
agronomist and make twice as much and take the winter off.
Yeah.
Then at some point in time, that job is gonna get to be, yeah, I mean, that agronomist thing, I suppose everybody will have one, and
Well, there's not really a need for a county agent right now, I don't think.
other than with the, chemical certification. That's the only time you ever went in.
Yeah. But I mean, that could be done.
Online.
Go to Jamestown,
Yeah.
do whatever.
You know, in the 4-H program, yeah, it's a good program, but why are the taxpayers subsidizing, they don't subsidize baseball or football or anything? Right, so why did they pick one pet group to fund? I
Well,
don't
because
know.
of the population used to be 3 times what it is, and everybody was in production agriculture.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only reason that I can think of.
So a lot of this stuff should be looked at again, because there's, as you see, every time we turn around, there's money missing that used to be there that came from the state, and we're gonna deal with this. This is just the start of it. They haven't even redone their 18 budget. It doesn't work. They let it go till July, and then they'll make cuts there. 19 is completely out of whack. They put the projected income from the oil up so high to make it balance, but everybody knows
it's not
that didn't
gonna
happen. So there's gonna have to be some.
Legislature's gonna have to meet annually eventually. They can't do this biannual stuff. The economy's changed too
The way
quick.
it looks, they should meet annually with a whole different crew of people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hired someone to take care of your assets and they did this poor job of it, you wouldn't have them back again. Disgusting.
I heard a good way to get rid of all the legislators this spring on the radio. I said, take their health insurance away and then we get a whole new batch.
Do they get health insurance at the state level? They're on ND-PERS? Really?
I didn't know that until last year. 'Cause
Retirement-
they were talking about
retirement.
having us kick some in, and I was like, oh, that's no problem. Well, they weren't hearing of that because they get it. That was the first time I ever found out that their
Take away the
legislators
health, take away the per diem and shut down Peacock Alley.
work
And Sheridan.
3 months every 2 years and get full health. Nice.
But anyway,
Quite a perk.
there's gonna be a lot of this stuff affecting the county because it's just a trickle down and so we may as well just get proactive with it and try to make savings where we can. I mean, if we could merge it and save half of the cost we're paying right now, that could come in very handy somewhere else.
I did get a call from a commissioner in Nelson County after he went and sat on that meeting on the phone that day. And the reason that he called me was to ask me if we had any interest in combining forces from an extension standpoint.
Right.
And I just said, you know what? I can't speak for the commission, obviously, but I am certain that our commission would like to do that.
Yeah, so
At that point, though, then it's gonna have to be, then you need to decide which agent is gonna get let go. But, you know, hoping that that wouldn't derail the process. You know, it would be so easy if there was a vacancy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
So-
personal considerations shouldn't fall into this.
They will.
I know. A coin has two sides.
I don't,
Flip the damn thing.
I don't,
And that's just the way it is.
no, but in reality,
But aren't you forming a new position? So then they both reapply?
yeah, you can do it any way you want, but, I mean, it just, some people will have a hard time making that call,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and some of them might be commissioners. Probably
No,
not,
no.
probably
So-
not in this room, but it might be a snag somewhere.
So how do we pursue this then? Do we contact Eddie Foster? I don't think Barnes, I think they're big enough where they probably don't.
Yeah, I think
Right.
Barnes and Stutzman,
Nelson.
those ones are so big.
Eddie
right?
Well,
Nelson, Steele.
yeah,
But that might be what you want.
Yeah.
If we were to go in with a bigger county.
Yeah, they got more personnel. They do have, I think Barnes has a 4-H director, and I wonder if they have a county agent and assistant county agent even, maybe.
and it's not very far.
No, it's not.
And can even perimeter 4-H club like Southern Griggs, can't they go with Barnes for 4-H and
Is there one down there?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you guys have been to any 4-H events lately. Are your grandkids
Just,
getting
no,
that
no,
old?
just in the fair, that's all we've seen. I don't have any things going on in the fair yet.
Well, what I was gonna say, we have kids from Steele County that come to our 4-H because there's a bigger livestock presence here than
Sure,
there is over there.
sure.
And we have people that come from Eddy County for the same reason in Nelson County. So we're already doing more than just
Sure.
Griggs County.
Sure.
And there's still a pretty small group. I mean, it's still not a big deal. Not like it used to be.
Last year was probably the biggest fair and 4-H thing that I remember.
Right.
And, you know, the
And I
place
don't
was
think
full.
Hoyts don't live in Griggs County, do they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And neither do Andersons. Shannon and Jeff live up.
No,
by-
Hoyts do. County line's a mile west of them.
Is that right? On that Bishop place?
Yeah, right, the county line's the correction line up there.
Okay. So they are, but and in like Stephen and Steph Johnson's and Pfeiffer's kids come here, which is great. It makes our program better to have those kids.
Right.
But it also proves that 40 miles isn't too far to go.
No.
No, it also proves it really probably has nothing to do with the county agent. It has more to do with the parents that are involved in it.
Right, yeah.
And that's the way it should be. Right. That's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
If my dad and his friend wouldn't have been the Boy Scout leader and the assistant leader when I was a kid, there wouldn't have been a Boy Scout troop.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Well, same with our 4-H. It had nothing to do with the county agent.
No.
It was the 4-H leaders.
Well, no, they have a lot of involvement in for achievement days.
Well, that part, but I mean, the normal through their yearship. it
No,
was the
yeah,
4-H
no,
leaders and-
that's the devotion of the parents.
That's right.
Mandy Hoyt and whoever else is involved out in that country and Steph and those guys on that end.
So should we,
I see these classes are just today and tomorrow yet, so there might be a lot of.
should we have a motion to
I don't know if we need a motion to talk to somebody.
Hang on,
If we were gonna take action, then we would.
hang on here.
or consensus?
We'll certainly entertain
Yeah. Entertain
What's your
the
email address?
conversation with somebody. Mine, Stefan 1961
Because now we have an opportunity,
at
saying the
iCloud.com.
state is,
You don't have a Griggs County one?
I don't know.
It's in here.
Well, I think that one comes to my iCloud account.
I think it all gets transferred.
Huh?
I think it gets rerouted.
So I can send it to that one.
I think so.
How about you, Mr. Mark?
what do you need?
I think his gets rerouted as well. His
I
is
don't know,
just
I haven't been able to open any of them up on my phone.
Did it send though last night?
They all showed up, but I can't
Okay.
get them open.
Okay.
My wife gets it to open on her phone, and I can't get it to open on mine, so
Mm.
that's
What's-
perfect.
What's your email address?
MKU companies at gmail.com.
MKU Company?
Yeah.
What's your phone numbers, Em?
Mine?
That took auditor.
Auditor 701 797 3117.
So if we send just a letter to the surrounding counties, sirs, in light of the recent budget shortfall related to the NDSU extension, Griggs County is reaching out to its neighbors for interest in combining extension services. If interested, please contact Samantha at 701-797-3117.
Huh?
Guess could just send the email to even the local auditors and they can bring it up.
Yeah, that's
Meeting.
probably send it to the, and I'd get a pretty wide area here. I'd get,
Oh, what
I'd
the
get
hell?
Barnes, Stutzman.
Sure. Like I said, just go there, the bigger ones.
Foster, Nelson,
Yeah. Eddie.
Steele.
Yeah. Eddie.
So all surrounding counties
Yep.
send this to their
think so.
auditor.
Yeah.
Got it.
Motion?
I'll move we send the information to the surrounding counties regarding extension services, possible sharing of county agents.
Services.
And feel free to adjust that letter as.
Been moved by Sean,
I'll second that.
seconded by Mark, to send a letter to surrounding counties expressing our interest in combining extension services. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I'm sure I'm gonna get jumped by one guy, I know that.
Huh?
I'm sure I'm gonna get jumped by one guy on this
They
already.
live north of town here.
No, I think he lives down in the river down there next.
He's by that word.
Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's fine, we're open just to the discussion.
And maybe he's not.
We'll want a monetary donations from.
He was opposed to it because he was an agent.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And he was an agent in a different time when
Yeah.
they did have more involvement in the ag industry. But
Yeah. Now it's barely gardens.
Right.
it's what's wrong with my bush?
Yeah. My tree is down. Election precincts. I don't remember this, but
We get our hand at gerrymandering.
I don't want to hand out.
No, I don't either.
You guys have always just kept them the same.
Wasn't the polling places and the precincts the same?
Polling place, I would like you to switch it.
There's only one,
Yeah.
but it can be here now.
Yeah,
instead
we'd
of
like to
city.
move it up here
Oh.
if possible, so that we're not down at the
City
city
Hall.
hall.
Get tainted by City Hall.
Why?
It's more handicapped accessible here than there.
In City Hall?
There's not a lot of parking
Why
too.
is the threshold of the
Parking's
door
big
higher
deal.
there?
I guess they did get a new door, so maybe that's. But it was the parking and I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a county election, might as well have it in the county building.
That's fine.
I mean, that's
Where would you do it?
in this room.
Oh, you would.
I would.
Where's the voting machine live?
One's down there and the box is down there, but we have all the machines here.
That's a very strange question for you to be asking there.
Why?
With all the tampering you always hear about and all this sort of
Oh.
stuff, wondering where the machines are.
Well, we should know then if that's.
Yeah.
I think ours are okay.
I've got
Just-
my place adjusting them.
Yeah.
I was just curious because you got to haul them down there and set them up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then it would be easier.
that was why I asked the question. Yeah. I didn't bring any tools with me.
We usually have the road department come down and help us set up booths and stuff like that because those get to be pretty big. So we'll have to haul them back here, but that'll just be once and then
Oh,
they'll
the
be.
city's storing them for you?
Yep.
So I'll move to leave the precincts in place and to move the polling location to the county courthouse.
Been moved by John to leave the precincts as they were in 2016 and move the polling place from the city hall in Cooperstown to the Griggs County Courthouse. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. ...2018 meeting schedule.
Wondering if you guys want to keep doing 2 meetings a month or just one. I'm trying to get a jump on things before baby comes,
Right.
so that I can help Lori out and not trying to play catch up. So I put your meetings for the most of them are for the first meeting or the first Friday of every month and the third Friday. If it lands too close to the beginning of the month, I do have it the second Friday because of closing books.
Right.
But
I just assume keep it twice a month, just, it seems like the bills get paid that way, and
What do you think? I don't mind them. They're not very long meetings
No,
anymore,
no.
so it's not a big pain in the neck.
it's not too bad. I do plan to be coming back while I'm on maternity leave for your guys' meetings.
Oh,
So I try my best to be here so that I am up to date with everything that you guys. Huh?
It's only a block.
Yeah.
not even.
Are you moved in?
Well, we're staying there, so yeah, we're in.
Good.
Throw a rock through a window from here.
Yeah.
and we can always amend it if it gets to be, we would just cancel the meeting, too.
Right.
As long as we get the schedule set and published, that would,
Okay.
So this is
you never know
what.
what might come up. Don't foresee any big events, but
Okay, so I'll set this then, and I'll notice it all on the website then.
Do we need a motion?
I'll move that we adopt the 2018 commission meeting schedule as presented.
Second it.
Been moved by John, seconded by Mark, that we adopt the 2018 regular commission meeting schedule as presented. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Christmas Eve is not a holiday.
Christmas Eve, it's in the employee manual that we get half of the day off.
Oh,
Um,
it's a
with
half a holiday.
yeah, with
What?
this, yeah, with this being.
How'd they ever get that in there?
Don't know.
Well, let's get it out.
Speaks the Grinch.
With that being said, in the employee manual, if a holiday lands on a Saturday, it's observed on Friday.
Yeah.
If it's on a
Sunday.
Sunday, it's observed
Monday.
on Monday.
Okay, so
Christmas-
you can have Monday off. then.
Christmas is Monday. And so,
Them years you get screwed.
so with that being said, we were wondering if you guys would be okay with us doing half a day on Friday the 22nd to make up for that.
I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday makes up for
So
it.
the 22nd, so there's a commissioner's meeting. that
There's a
day.
commissioner meeting that day, so then I would move that commissioner meeting to the 21st.
Well,
Wouldn't you rather have the Tuesday half day?
We would rather have that, but that's master calendar day for court, so we can't. And then it would kind of be, we take the afternoon off, we're here the morning, and we take the afternoon off, so then it's like come for the morning and then leave.
Yeah.
So then it would
It's
just,
got to be the proceeding prior to.
Well, we can have a meeting in the morning if we want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't care.
What do you need? Do we need a motion for this thing to happen, or just a?
Can we think about it till the first of the year?
Yeah.
no.
Also move to allow the employees of the county to have the afternoon
22nd.
Friday, 22nd?
I think so.
And then reschedule the commission meeting to the
Morning.
9 o'clock
9 o'clock?
or whatever. Right, I'll
Yeah,
just,
9 o'clock would be good for me.
Okay.
It's been moved to observe the half a day for Christmas Eve on Friday, the 22nd of December, and move the commissioners' meeting to 9 a.m. of that day. Is there a second?
I'll second it so Sean can.
Seconded by John. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. Old courthouse, new courthouse.
I tried to get the museum to bite on the idea of taking it, and that ain't gonna happen. And, but I think in February or end of January, I'm gonna maybe make a drive out to see my sister in Bismarck, and then maybe have to drop in and see this gal or whoever is in charge of the State Historical Society.
Is it still Merlin Poverud?
I don't know.
He's on the board, but there's a gal, I guess,
Yeah.
out there.
Okay.
Before you do that, go on to Ron's website
Yeah,
and all the documents are on there.
okay,
And you might have to sift through that. If you can't find them, give me a call or give Ron a call and
Okay.
he'll direct you to them. So all the documents are on there from the start.
Yep.
All the correspondence back and forth. It's pretty detailed.
but it's a lot easier, I think, if I go out there face to face.
Yeah. But yeah, go read all that background information first.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. And see what we can do. Maybe it'll amount to nothing, but who knows?
Well, the biggest thing is to get to a point where we can make a decision. We can't make a decision now. So I mean, if we could tear it down, it's still got to
Decision
go
or
on.
make options
That's
to
still
the
got to go to a
voters,
vote of
yeah.
the people, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
But at least we
Yeah.
can, 2, 3.
And I don't. But you can't put it to a vote of the people if you can't. If they say tear it down, you can't.
Yeah. We have to have options for voting.
But there again, I got to tell somebody else, I said that if you brought that to the vote of the people before you went and talked to them, if the people say that they want it down, it'd be pretty hard for them to stand in front and say, well, you can't do that.
They can't tell us that we can't, but they can make us give back the $988,000 that we spent on the EOC.
But didn't that come through FEMA, or it didn't come through the State Historical Society?
No,
No,
but
it's a federal register.
Yeah. and
they had to
it's been-
sign off on it. So it was the State Historical Society had to sign off. What was the other agency? In order to let this go through.
Mhm.
If they wouldn't have signed off, they wouldn't have got the grant money
Sure.
wouldn't have come. And they didn't sign off. That's why the courthouse, as Troy said, is on this side rather than on the north side.
Sure.
Because they wouldn't sign off on that.
So,
You guys,
Jeremy? But if you can try.
we'll see.
You'll probably meet Bob out there. He's been working on it pretty diligently.
Yeah. What are we on?
And Jamie's got a bunch of that information too on the old courthouse. You've got all that documentation, but it's on Ron's website too.
yeah, it is, and I've got it too if he needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will sit down sometime, have a conversation.
Yeah, I can go on to you whenever you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other
Another
courthouse?
thing, there's a difference when we, last meeting we gave the sheriff the heated area. Pretty hard to share that, I guess, because they have any evidence and that everything else got moved out.
That's not an evidence room.
Well, if they have something that is used as evidence, then they lock it, and nobody else gets in there. Let's say they got something in a vehicle or something like that, I suppose. So, the employee that contacted me, he was talking about a snow blower or whatever, and I said, well, you know what, 90% of the people start their snow blower in Cooperstown that isn't in a heated garage. So, you should be able to make that work. But,
Well, I thought the sheriff said he could share it.
He did.
yeah, but it didn't sound like this employee got that idea. So we'll see
Well,
what happens.
then that wasn't what I agreed to. I agreed
Yeah.
to let them share the building.
Sure.
If they can't share the building, then the sheriff doesn't get the building, doesn't
Okay.
get the room. I mean, that's,
Well, Wes is here. I mean,
yeah,
I can go grab him.
yeah, I mean, let's see.
But I think
I
that's-
thought that was a good done deal.
I did too.
I didn't think there was an issue with him, but I'll go grab him.
Okay. Get it confirmed. We just have to go back.
Well, there's not enough minutes to tell what. was
No, I
said,
know.
But I think it's, you know,
Well, it's,
There's no reason why that we can't.
And he gets-
There's
he gets
there's
all
ev-
excited.
there's a bunch of evidence rooms back here.
you know.
exactly.
There's Mark. There's evidence rooms built right into this thing.
Oh, perfect.
There's locked. Yeah, there's 2 of them, I think.
Okay.
Isn't there?
There's
at
one
least,
at least.
at least one.
Yeah.
The only time is if it was happened to be a vehicle or something like that
But they've always put those
up in the city's building
right
in the old
back behind.
body shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I was so fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Try and
how
do
that
the-
doesn't happen very often.
Sure, sure.
The last time it happened was when Kurt Johnson got killed. And that was the first murder in Griggs County for 100 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to reserve buildings for it.
The only one I know about it.
When is the auction of the
Property?
property?
22nd, 21st.
21st. Next Tuesday.
$10.
10 o'clock.
10:30. Let me make sure.
Because I brought that up to the city too, that 10,000 that they added on to that property.
Oh, did you go to a meeting?
Oh, yeah.
10 o'clock. 10:30. I got both of it here.
But I
When
didn't
is it?
think that
Hold on.
that's gonna quite be.
That's on the 21st?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got it down at both 10 o'clock and 10:30.
Is there any interest? Has there been any? other than
There's always something close to them.
Some.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Well, the deed's ready to go, so all it'll need is names in them.
10:30.
There was just a question on the sharing of the.
Sure.
Yes.
Sounds
Is that gonna work? Do you think?
Sharing?
Yeah.
Yep, we have an evidence room if there's any question. on the evidence.
Okay. Okay.
I suppose.
Good deal.
I suppose the only problem, and Wes and I just talked about on the way down here, is that if there's a vehicle that needs to go in evidence, and I guess that'll probably have to be figured out. That's kind
Yeah,
of
but
rare
we've
that
always,
happens.
we've always kept that somewhere else anyway. That's always been at the old body shop. You're
But
right.
then, the only time that would it be here is if we're searching it. Then we
Okay.
couldn't have anyone around it, but we'll be there with it if it's here.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I mean, you can
There
push
should-
the you
there
can
should
push
be-
the snow blower outside if you have to, in the outside.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there's.
Because with
It's,
that other stuff out, you
it's
got
kind of an
room
unlikely
now,
thing,
Right.
and we can handle it if it happens.
Like I said, there's no problem at it. Like can't be shared.
Yeah.
The only occasion that there would be a vehicle that's evidence if there was a DUI and a death, or a vehicle where there's a death caused in it, and I suppose we'd have to keep it in there and lock and key, but that shouldn't say it happens rarely, but it's not something that would happen every day.
No,
We can
right.
make other arrangements if we need to hold it otherwhere. I
Right.
mean,
If
at
you,
some
you got
point-
adequate room now after the other stuff's been moved out,
Oh,
right?
tons of room. And they put the snow blower over in the entryway over in
Oh,
Yeah.
in the courtroom, hardcover house over there.
oh, that's
Yeah.
fine too, isn't
Yeah.
it?
There's no.
Whatever. I mean, it could fit.
eventual-
They could put it in here if they don't want to drag it through the doors over there. I mean, we can share.
It'd be nice to be heated and it wouldn't melt off.
It starts
We'll just
right
make the
away.
snowblower a permanent piece of evidence.
Well, and
Charge you with a crime.
it's not that, I don't think it's that big a deal, I think it's shareable.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
So I
Yeah,
think
and
right,
if there's evidence in there, I would like to know because I'm going to yell at that officer that put that evidence
Right.
in there.
Right. That's why there's evidence rooms in this
Yeah,
building.
and it's got to be cataloged. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to control access to it and that sort of thing, so I mean, it's not,
Okay.
evidence isn't going.
You're going to handle that then with the employee?
I guess if we're talking about that, I can't find the remotes. If we could get 1 or 2 remotes, that would be nice.
For the garage
Or,
door.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just a universal remote. You can just.
Oh, okay.
Where are they?
They were in a box over there, but they're not there anymore. I don't know if Brian took them all or.
Well, ask him.
Ask them, see if we can track them down.
But if they're universal, I mean, we got money in our budget. We can.
But they might be in a cabinet here or something, huh?
They were in the cabinet, but I don't know where they are now.
Ask Brian maybe.
The universal, I just happened to check the price of a universal remote for my own need. They're like $30 an hour.
Yeah,
So it's
they're
not
not
that big a
bad.
deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're laying around there, if they were there, they might be there somewhere. Samantha will find them when she finds that key we're missing.
Yeah, with the master key.
Given up on that.
Thanks, Wes.
Future business.
Future business?
Yeah, I would really like to have an idea on what it's gonna cost on those road graders. If somehow we could get that bumped up so we got an idea on what the payments on that thing are gonna be.
So it's not gonna kick us in the ass at the end. And
It's gonna do that. Because we gave up our equity on the front end of these leases.
Well, if you look at I mean, I know the road department has a bunch of money in there, but it's because of this, it's because of the Senate bill and the House bill money. And that isn't really money in the budget, it's designated for a specific purpose. 30 mills is only $600,000, that's what the road department has to run on. And it's deficit spending every year, it's not generating enough money to fund itself. When you take away those other dollars, so we got to be careful that we don't
They're
commit to
gonna
a
go away.
five-year commitment and then no way to pay for them because we're up against the limit on the 30 mills. That's it. So we've got really to be careful here that we don't commit to something that there's no way to keep funding. So it's almost imperative that we know what those costs are going to be.
might mean one less grader.
Might mean more than that. You start projecting that out into the future. $600,000 just barely covers the employees and
Or just operations.
operation of it, right? I mean, so yeah, it's just because there's a bunch of money in that account doesn't mean there's a bunch of money coming in every year. That got built up, and as Troy said, the equity went away too. Even these graders, if we wanted to keep them, we'd still have to keep paying for them. So I'd like to somehow get some kind of indication of what that's going to cost.
What's that lease payment right now?
Real low, it's like $20,000.
Per unit.
Yeah, 75 total.
Yeah.
But he bumped it up to 135 in the next year's budget. But just doing the math, real general in my head, I don't think that's going to do it because I don't know exactly what they're going to cost, but I think it's going to be
Right
more.
there,
Like,
that's 25% of the budget.
yeah, so I think it's going to be more like 160,000 is what it looks like to me. I mean, all you can do is use the cost, what you think the new cost is going to be, and then go back and use what the new cost of those was and what they had residual and work it backwards. And I think it's going to be somewhere in that 40 to 50,000 per machine per year. That's what I think.
Aaron Chapman just bought the city of West Fargo's old one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 5,000 hours on it. And according to Aaron, I don't know much about maintainers. They're kind of like farm tractors. They go for 10,000 hours before they start giving you much trouble. 47,000
Yeah.
bought it.
And see, ours have a residual of what, 160,000?
Each.
Yeah, each. But that's not ours. That's already been traded out of them. I mean,
No, I know.
we can't keep them and not make payments. We keep them. We keep paying for that $160,000.
But that one was like a 2002.
Right. Yeah.
It's Still did a nice job on my driveway.
Yeah. So even keeping our old ones, $160,000 financed over 5 years, it's still that $50,000. Keeping the old ones a piece. So again, we gotta.
And these have a couple $1,000 on them?
Ours are going to have about $5,000 on
They
them.
will?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they've been averaging right about 1,000 a year. I mean, some years 600, some more, but I think they're going to have right in that 45 to 5,000.
In the winter, how bad they get used.
Yeah, by next, July is June, July 1st.
So you want to have Wayne get a proposal from John Deere or
Yeah, I
RDO
think-
and Cat or somebody?
Mm-hmm. Because that's just got to be. I mean, not that the budget's coming up, but that's quite a process anyway to determine what it's going to cost. And it doesn't have to be done now, but I mean, pretty quickly we need to know that. Because maybe there's going to have to be some other options. I mean, maybe it's one less machine, or maybe some of it's put out on contract, or who knows. There should be options addressed anyway, and you can't address the options unless you know what the costs are going to be. So it's not a rush, but we should start thinking about that.
What is the contract price versus what it costs the county to do it? Anybody know?
What were you asking?
Like
I don't know
some
what would you have
of
to
these
pay for that?
townships that hire private contract, I wonder what the cost difference is between
Oh.
doing that and hiring the county to do it.
Yeah, well, they've been doing it about the same. The county charges $80 an hour for the machine.
Is that what Chapman charges too?
I think that's pretty close.
I haven't got a bill from him yet, but,
I think that's pretty close.
oh, I did too. I had him out there once earlier this fall.
But anyway, that's the only future business I have. And it's not the immediate future, but it's something we better start looking at.
So are you gonna call Wayne and tell him to?
I'll just talk with him and see if he's got any firm numbers on that.
But the money that they get out of that the county has for the use of the maintainers, you must get just about more than half of that money from the townships.
I've never looked at a breakdown on that.
Because there's more township miles than there is county miles.
Yeah. I've never looked at a breakdown on that, and
Time-wise, what they're spending on.
right.
So if we're running into Redview, we're just gonna have to raise if it's 85, we'll have to go to whatever we need to be at in order to make that work. And if we're not competitive anymore, then they'll find somebody else.
Yeah, I think it isn't necessary. I think what would happen, because the townships have, you know better than I do, the townships have limited funds. I think it would just, if we raise the price, they would just do less hours.
They'll do less miles, they'll do less
Yeah.
roads.
Right, so I think the gross check coming to the county would be the same either way, whether it be $80 an hour or $160 an hour. I think the money would
You just
be
have
the
less
same.
hours on your machine is all.
Right, they just wouldn't do as much.
But then that's their decision to
Yeah.
make on those roads and not ours that way. And then when it comes time to look at maybe going from 3 to 2
Yeah.
blades, it makes it a 4
Yeah.
But
to
it is,
3. That makes it a little easier.
And then you need less
For us.
employees then.
Right.
And
There's one sitting in Denver.
yeah. And it always has supposed to have been the township's decision on when to do the roads, but it's morphed into, that isn't the case anymore.
No, it's under rotation.
Yeah, and so there would be some cost savings there too, and some time savings if the township officers could call it, okay, now I want it done, but you know how that doesn't work out well.
Well, no, because then, they're clear down there doing the roads. And then we call in and want them done, they drive through all the townships.
Yeah.
The problem is when they're blading and they know that they're gonna be doing Tyrol and Cooperstown together.
Yeah.
They stop when they get to Tyrol. And they do that little bit. And then they come back down and then they'll do the next 3 miles instead of going all the way through
It's not
and then
efficient.
coming all the way back. You know? I never quite understood why, if it's billed by the minute or what it is. I mean, you'd think you'd be able to figure that out, so much a mile to maintain that road.
Well, I mean, even if it is by the minute, I mean,
Yeah.
your smartphone's got
Sure.
multiple lap times on there. You just press the button when you cross the line and press it again and keep
Sure.
track of it all. But anyway, that's another discussion, and that's the township's discussion on whether or not they want the county services.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We should really have a talk with the townships before we enter into buying these graders. What happens if the townships are already talking about hiring somebody else to do it? And now we've lost that.
That's right.
Now
client
you're locked into a lease or a payment on
Yeah.
the
for something that now we don't have to provide. So
Yeah.
we should really talk to all the townships.
Are there 2 townships in Griggs County now that hire
Correct.
Aaron?
Broadview, doesn't Broadview hire Chappie?
Yeah. Broadview and Greenville.
Greenville.
Greenview.
Greenview.
Greenfield? Greenview.
Greenview and Greenfield. Greenfield is the one.
Greenfield's in Steele County, Greenview's in Griggs County.
So,
Right.
Greenfield.
Michael.
Griggs County.
Thank you.
And Greenview is up by Pete.
Yeah, Greenfield's in Griggs County.
Yep. That's by Carlson's.
Yeah.
Don't the townships have their association meeting in February?
I thought it was in March.
Is it in March?
Usually in March.
So that's really something. Maybe there should be a letter sent out to them or something, because that is going to have to be a consideration. And I don't know if any of them are looking at hiring somebody else or not. I've heard they are, but I don't know that.
I hear that in discussions over by our place that they would like to do it or talking about doing it, and I know a couple of them have.
Yeah. So I didn't I've heard of
Private
it now.
contractors?
Yeah.
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 Or I don't know if anything's been formal in the meetings. but
How
I've
much
heard-
revenue would that cost the county?
I don't know that. See, I'd have to look.
Well, every township's different. Every township's only got so many, depends
So
on
many
how many
miles.
county roads go through the township, I
Yep.
suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but I wonder what we bill to the townships every
Oh,
year on average.
yeah, that'd be nice.
I think we could
That's what-
figure that
That's my
out.
question.
I think we should be able to get that figure
Oh yeah.
easily enough. If you
That's something we,
It's in the road department
Yeah.
report.
Yeah.
Maybe.
he's got
Every
a
month.
monthly report.
Christie must have annual figures, right?
Yeah, we should have the last 3 years. We should have the last 5 years what the townships have paid to the county and see what. But see, it really doesn't make a lot of difference anyway. $80 an hour doesn't even cost. We're losing money doing it. It doesn't cost. It doesn't cover the fuel, the employee, and the payments in the machine.
Not just the townships.
No, right. So if we just wanted a machine to do the county roads, less the townships, we probably have to have 1 or 2 machines. So we've got them. So the county is bearing the brunt of the cost. The $80 an hour is basically the operating cost, the net operating cost of the machine. It's none of the investment cost.
I don't know the math.
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Just you can divide the employees and the wage and the salaries and
Does they
everything.
burn 10 gallons an hour?
They burn about 8 to 10. Yeah.
So that's, what's fuel?
Yeah.
Is diesel fuel $3? Two?
Non-tax must be about $250, I suppose.
Yeah.
So that's 25 bucks an hour.
Yep.
Plus the employees probably 35.
Yep. And the maintenance and
So there's no equipment costs covered whatsoever.
the no. I mean, it just goes
Just
without
the bare-
saying that a $500,000 or $300,000 machine can't be rented for $80 an hour with the
No, it should be,
in wet. Right.
should
It
be
just
200.
yeah, or more. Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of variables in this thing, and we don't want to get caught in a position where we've made a long-term commitment and don't have the funds to pay for it.
Right.
But that's all I had for future.
Yeah, we
business.
could have those breakdowns, if nothing else, together.
Are you
Before the
texting your
township.
partner or your coworker or what?
Mm-hmm.
Before
We
the
don't need it
township
today.
meetings.
No, she's playing that jumping frog game.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Do we want to revisit DES again? See how compliant we are?
Yes.
I will try again.
She, meaning Samantha, told me why she took it off. Because the
Because I
DES.
requested it.
Huh?
Because I requested it, she took it off.
No, because Bob couldn't make it today.
Well, I figured that.
Supposedly.
Well, yeah, you're not going to give. You don't like the Christmas Eve. I'm not putting DES on there.
Supposedly, we're compliant.
I forget what was our deadline for that to be.
Long gone away.
We're past.
Do we
That's,
have like 60 days or something like that?
I can't remember.
And what's DES?
Department of Emergency Services.
And we weren't up to.
So the state funds half of that position, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But you have to do some things for them. Turn in some reports and prove that you're
Sure.
doing it
Sure.
to get reimbursed. And Bob hasn't been doing it for a few years.
Oh,
So we haven't been getting reimbursed.
Well, we've been paying, so we've been paying the full salary. And not a few years, since 2010, we've only been reimbursed once.
So
we're hoping that changes.
It was a technical error.
It was, this is only,
Technically, Bob didn't think he had to do it.
Yeah.
this is only a test.
Only a test.
I can email Jolie's and see if we're in compliance.
Yeah.
perfect.
The director? Or,
The regional supervisor, or whatever he is.
okay. The state director, too, so. Okay. But Bob told me that he was in compliance, so I have no reason to doubt him. He said he went to the schools, so I just assumed he did.
And we didn't get any notifications that we weren't
Right.
getting.
So he must have. But we'll just, nothing wrong with double checking. And we should talk to him about how he's proceeding on the old courthouse too.
I suppose at some point in time in the future, we're gonna have to try to find a third water board member.
Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about it. Talked to Jason Gronberg yesterday, and he just decided he just didn't want to do it. So, yeah, we're gonna have to. And I told Dale. So, I don't know if you guys can think of somebody else. I mean, it doesn't have to be from that way, but I was just trying to get them spread out.
I understand.
They had a meeting on Tuesday, Fred and Tom. So they kind of trying to get the ball rolling again.
Trying to get an understanding of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get an understanding of everything there.
Well,
They did secure the records too.
they did.
Yep, they moved them all into, they're still down there, but they did move them into a locked storage area and locked everything.
See, the November rent got paid quick.
Well, and as it turns out, we gotta give them 30 days notice also.
Oh,
Oh,
Is there a room available here that they could, I suppose we could use this?
Yes.
been talking about it for a year.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've been supposed to move for a year up here.
There's $4,000 on
Yeah.
Yep, I have the keys to the cabinets for all their records.
Yep.
So got that.
Now, actually, you're gonna be their secretary treasurer?
Well, yeah.
So then, when do
Hopefully
we,
get
our next
copies out
meeting
on that
is,
so that both of us-
what, the second? Third?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
When's our next meeting?
Eighth.
Eighth?
The 13th. December 13th.
That's our first one? No. 8th.
commission
Okay.
meeting?
Oh, sorry, commissioner meeting. I thought you were talking about water board. I'm sorry. Yes, 8th.
Then at that point in time, we need to make a motion that to send to send that we are no longer gonna rent that building.
That's gotta be the water board.
Yep.
And I think they did that, didn't they? Oh,
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but, okay. So that
Yeah,
comes
they-
out of their budget, their thing.
yeah, we're technically.
The water board deal is a little different deal. Once we budget for them, we don't have any control over those
They
funds.
do what they wanna do.
Yep.
That was sure proven.
I mean, that's where the whole rub came in here.
Yeah.
The water board, the library board, the hospital, park board, or fair board.
Library, senior citizens.
Yeah, they're their own. They're a subdivision within the county, really, is what they are. So as soon as they get that money goes directly to them, and they can't do anything. It's special revenue accounts, and we can't take that money back from them unless they no longer exist.
Well, the hospital board's different. It has its own taxing authority,
Yeah,
levying
yeah.
authority. The library and the water board don't have levy authority. We have the levy authority. We are the ones that approve their budgets. But yeah, the hospital, of course, we have no.
The hospital's like the school.
They have their own levy authority.
But like the library, they've got voted, they get so many mills. Isn't that part of just like the,
Got
You know.
voted to give 2 mills to the
yeah,
library and 2 mills to the bookmobile.
which we no longer have.
When the bookmobile went away, the library kept getting the 2 mills, and they're still getting it now.
And those aren't mandatory levies. Those are, they all say, like all of them, they say
Up
up
to.
to
Yeah.
Up
2
to.
mills, up
Okay.
to 1 mil.
And that's what I was wondering,
Right,
even,
Jim? Yeah.
even like the 10 mills that are on for the school with the building fund.
That goes off though when that debt is satisfied.
No, because this is that's a maintenance, the 10 mills. That's
Oh, I thought you were talking about the addition.
No,
Yeah, that one
and
never
I think
sunsets.
that's up to also 10 mills.
Up
is,
to, yeah.
is how it'll say.
Yeah.
Right, but they just always take it all.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And if they have so much money in that fund, they don't have to take the full 10.
I think they actually decreased this year a little bit.
Did they?
I think so.
Okay.
It's just like the new courthouse fund. That is up to 10 mils. We never take the 10 mils. We're
Yep.
down around 7 3/4 now because
Well,
of the
because
cost.
of the co-
As the valuation goes
the
up.
valuation goes up, the mill levy goes down.
But technically,
But that's not what the hospital and the library do. They just take as much as they can get every year.
or the building authority wouldn't have had to do it either. They could have technically kept building the county 10 mils and used that into a fund.
Mm-hmm. Paid it off earlier. Or,
No. But that didn't happen because there's no longer
yeah.
a building authority.
But you can pay the bonds off early, can't you?
They're not
8
callable.
years.
They're not callable till 2021.
But the building authority has no way of paying them off early. It'd be the county would up the lease payments to buy them out. The contract doesn't allow the building authority to pay them off. It allows the county to buy out the lease, to buy out the lease.
Actually, there's the way that bond is set up. It's set up in a whole bunch of little pieces, and a little piece matures every year.
Tranche.
Oh.
Yeah, they're called tranches. So in 2014, we paid off 140,000, and it just every year, one of those pieces gets paid off. And the reason that they chop them up like that is those short ones, they're really cheap. If you buy a 1-year bond
Mm-hmm.
in today's interest rate environment, you might get a 0.8% yield or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then everything that matures after 2021 is callable in 2021.
Yeah.
So if the county had some type of a windfall, we would be able to pay all those future ones off without penalty at that time. Or the other thing that happens, which it won't happen in this case, sometimes if interest rates are doing this, you get to that call date and you refinance it.
Mm-hmm.
issue a new bond and lower your cost.
But that wouldn't have been possible in this case because it was a
Probably
lease
not.
revenue bond and the county didn't hold the debt.
Right.
Yeah.
But the building authority might have been able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I make a motion, we adjourn.
To adjourn or second.
Second.
Seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion?
December 8th?
Yep, seeing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 2:32 p.m. on November 17th. Next meeting will be December 8th at 1 p.m.
Do you want to say the special meeting too? Special meeting is next Tuesday.
Oh, special meeting next Tuesday at 10:30.
10.
10:30.